$5,000, that is what you have, and you want a car. What are you actually going to get? That is the real question, and the honest answer is not glamorous, but it is not hopeless either. If you go into the sub-5,000 used car market knowing what to expect, what to inspect, and what to walk away from, you can drive home in something solid. Go in blind, and you might end up spending $5,000 on a very expensive problem. This video is going to walk you through exactly what this market looks like right now, which cars are worth your time, what the real ownership costs are, and how to protect yourself from the deals that will hurt you. Start with the market reality. As of late 2025, the average used car listing in the United States sits at nearly $26,000. A $5,000 budget puts you in the bottom fifth of the market by price. The cars available here are older, they have significant mileage, and they will almost certainly show somewhere. Most of what you find will be from model years 2005 through 2013. You are not finding a clean 3-year-old crossover with a backup camera at this price. You are not getting blind spot monitoring, a touchscreen, or lane keep assist. What you can find is a proven, mechanically sound older sedan or compact that will get you where you need to go reliably as long as you pick the right one and go through the right process before handing over your money. The selection is real, the expectations just need to match the budget. The realistic mileage you will encounter at this level is somewhere between 100,000 and 180,000 miles. Some sellers try to make high mileage sound like a deal breaker. It is not automatically. A well-maintained Honda Civic with 150,000 miles is often a far better buy than a neglected one sitting at 80,000. Mileage tells you how far the car has traveled. Maintenance history tells you how it was treated along the way. What matters more than the number on the odometer is whether the oil was changed on schedule, whether the timing belt was replaced if the car has one, and whether the seller can produce any documentation of service at all. If they cannot produce a single receipt, a single record, or a single name of a shop that touched it, treat that as a warning, not a negotiating chip. No records does not prove the car was neglected. It does mean you have no way to verify it was cared for. In a market where you have zero recourse after the sale, verification matters more than the seller's word. The best vehicles in this price range are names you already know. The Toyota Corolla and Honda Civic are the two most consistently recommended picks from Consumer Reports, Kelley Blue Book, and U.S. News. The Corolla is known for going well past 200,000 miles with nothing more than regular oil changes and basic upkeep. Annual maintenance on a 10-year-old example runs approximately $650 to $800 per year based on Carriage data. That number matters because it tells you what the car costs you beyond the purchase price. Ownership cost is the full picture, not just the sticker. The Honda Civic comes in slightly higher, around $990 to $1,100 annually for a comparable age example, but it is still one of the lowest cost vehicles to own in the entire market. Honda's average annual repair cost across its full lineup is roughly $583, the lowest of any major brand according to Consumer Affairs 2025 data. That track record is not accidental. These cars were built with mechanical simplicity, and simplicity ages better than complexity every single time. The Toyota Camry from this era is a solid pick if you need a bit more interior space or a smoother highway ride than the Corolla delivers. It is larger, more comfortable on longer trips, and equally reliable when it has been maintained. The Mazda 3 from roughly 2010 through 2014 is a model that gets overlooked in this conversation, but it should not be. It is frequently underpriced relative to the Civic and Corolla despite carrying nearly the same reliability reputation and being noticeably more engaging to drive on a daily basis. If fuel economy is your top priority, the Toyota Prius from 2008 through 2012 deserves real consideration. It achieves up to 51 miles per gallon in city driving according to EPA figures. If you drive primarily in the city or stop-and-go suburban traffic, that number translates into meaningful savings every single month. The hybrid battery concern on older Prius models is real but is frequently overstated by people who have not looked at actual ownership data. Many of these batteries remain fully functional well past 200,000 miles. If one does fail, the replacement cost typically runs $1,500 to $3,000. Depending on whether you source it new, refurbished, or from a salvage yard, That is a risk worth knowing, not one worth being paralyzed by. Now here is what most buyers at this price level do not stop to factor in before they commit. The car might cost $4,500, but bringing it properly into your life costs more than that number alone. A vehicle history report through Carfax or AutoCheck runs about $32–45. That report will tell you about reported accidents, the number of previous owners, title status, and odometer readings logged over time. It will not catch everything. Some accidents are never reported to insurance and never appear on any report, but it catches a lot, and $35 is a very small price for that layer of information. Beyond the report, you need a pre-purchase inspection from a mechanic you trust, not a mechanic the seller recommends, a mechanic you find independently. That inspection costs approximately $150 to $200, and it is the single most important money you will spend in this entire buying process. A mechanic working underneath the car on a lift sees what a seller standing in a parking lot will never volunteer: leaking seals, worn control arm bushings, a timing belt that is 60,000 miles overdue, a CV axle that is about to separate, an exhaust that is held together with corrosion and hope. These are not cosmetic issues. These are repair bills that are coming whether you know about them or not. Knowing about them before the sale gives you negotiating power or an exit. Finding out after the sale gives you nothing. Do not skip this step. Skipping it is exactly how a $5,000 car turns into a $7,000 mistake inside the first 3 months of ownership. On insurance, here is a number worth thinking through before you buy. Full coverage on a vehicle worth $5,000 often costs more per year than the car itself is worth. When you run the actual math on annual premiums against the vehicle's real replacement value, full coverage frequently makes no financial sense at this price point. Many buyers in this range choose liability-only coverage to keep their monthly costs under control. That is a personal decision based on your driving situation, your risk tolerance, and whether you have access to another vehicle. But the math on full coverage consistently works against you when the car is worth $5,000, and it is a decision worth making intentionally rather than by default. The risks in this market are real, and you should understand them clearly before you start shopping. The biggest single risk is buying a car with a hidden mechanical problem that costs more to fix than the vehicle is worth. An engine replacement runs $5,000 to $10,000 that wipes out the car's entire purchase value entirely. You end up having spent $10,000 or more on a car that still is not worth $5,000. This is the core financial danger of buying at this price range, and it is exactly why the inspection is non-negotiable. Salvage titles, flood titles, and rebuilt titles are the next serious concern. These vehicles are deliberately priced to attract budget buyers. Walk away from every single one of them without exception. The unknowns embedded in a flood-damaged or previously totaled vehicle are too significant, especially when you have no financial cushion available for surprises. Online fraud is also widespread at this price point, specifically because scammers know budget buyers are making emotional, urgent decisions. If a listing looks unusually clean and sharp for the asking price, if the seller is hesitant to meet in person, or if they ask for a wire transfer or a Zelle payment before you have physically seen and inspected the vehicle, close the listing and move on. Before handing over any money at all, confirm that the name printed on the title matches the name and identification of the person standing in front of you selling it. That one step alone eliminates a significant category of fraud. Do not overlook frame rust. Surface rust on body panels is cosmetic and pleasant to look at but manageable. Rust that has penetrated the structural frame of the vehicle is a safety issue and often makes the car a financial total loss regardless of what you paid for it. If you are buying in or sourcing a car from the Midwest or Northeast, where road salt is applied heavily through winter months, this is not a theoretical risk. It is a documented common issue on older vehicles from those regions. Get under the car before you make any offer. If the metal underneath looks like it came out of a scrapyard, you are not looking at a deal. You are looking at a liability. So who actually makes sense as a buyer in this market? It works well for first-time buyers who need basic, reliable transportation and genuinely cannot take on a monthly car payment. It makes real sense for students, for people who need a second vehicle at home, and for anyone who has the cash available to buy outright and wants to stay completely clear of debt and financing. Paying $5,000 in cash for a car means no bank involved in the transaction, no monthly payment obligation, and no risk of repossession if your financial situation changes. In an environment where the average new car payment in the United States has exceeded $500 per month, that kind of ownership freedom is worth more than people give it credit for. Who should think more carefully before committing? If you commute more than 60 or 70 miles per day on the highway, a high-mileage older vehicle is going to accumulate wear at a faster rate and is more likely to need unplanned repairs than a tighter budget can comfortably absorb. If you have no emergency repair fund at all, even a modest $500 to $1,000 buffer and no access to alternative transportation while your car is being serviced, the risk calculates very differently. In that situation, stretching your budget to $6,000 or $7,000 can realistically get you a meaningfully newer vehicle with lower mileage, a more recent and verifiable maintenance history, and a significantly higher chance of going through your first year of ownership without a major repair. The bottom line on this market is straightforward. $5,000 can absolutely buy you a reliable car in the United States right now. The Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, and Honda Accord from the right model years are proven, widely supported, and affordable to maintain vehicles that millions of people have trusted past 200,000 miles without significant drama. The parts are available everywhere, independent mechanics know these platforms cold, and the ownership cost data backs every recommendation up with real numbers. The market is not working against you. It just requires patience, a willingness to walk away from listings that do not pass the basic tests, and the discipline to follow through on the inspection and history report even when the seller seems trustworthy and the car looks right. Get the inspection, pull the history report, verify the title. And if any seller pushes back on any one of those three things, the answer is no regardless of how clean the car looks in photos, how low the price is, or how far you drove to see it.